Wendy-O here, and we have a very serious story. I'm just kidding. It's not that serious. It's actually very kind of chill and fun, and we can kind of debate. And I'm waiting for Ben to kind of hop in and give me a pessimistic take. I'm just kidding. All right. Anyways, so with ApeCoin, there was a proposal there was a proposal, sir. Sirs and ma'ams.
Who got proposed to?
There is a proposal in the ApeCoin community, the DAO, right? The DAO? Okay, I'm just kidding, I knew. But so there's a proposal to basically keep ApeCoin on Ethereum, because we all know that pesky Ethereum has got some major issues when it comes to doing anything on Ethereum, because it's still proof of work. But I like proof of work because I think it's kind of more secure, and I think that Will can... Is proof of work more secure?
Of course, I work for a mining company. It's better than everything.
Okay, see, so but the community decided, I think it was a 53% vote, decided to keep ApeCoin and all the other activities on Ethereum. And I would love to get all of your thoughts on this, you guys.
I'll take it. Yeah, so this project was like the belle of the ball, and all these competing layers came out. You got it?
No, I have to disclose, I do own a Mutant Ape, and I do own ApeCoin.
Wow, we have major NFT bags here, people. Holy Can I get your seed phrase, though, real
responsible,
quick?
always should be.
Yeah, okay. Can I fish you real quick? All right, I'm going to do that. All right, so, yeah, I want to say that, this project was like the belle of the ball, right? And all these base layers came out and said, hey, that metaverse thing you guys did on Ethereum was really botched. We're a great, speedy, cheap base layer, and we want you to build on our network instead. There was an official proposal from Avalanche. I think a couple others put their hats in the ring for this one. It is interesting. There was mention of sort of layer 2 scaling solutions in this proposal, but it is interesting that they're trying to stay with the leading smart contract chain, which is still very much Ethereum. That's where the party is. That's where the network effect is. That's where, to a degree, the prestige is. So to see this project vote with its coins and say, hey, we're sticking with Ethereum, is certainly notable given that they've been courted actively by other networks. Interesting stuff in DAO governance. We'll see more of it as more DAOs stand up and become successful. And before I fish Wendy, I'm going to pass it to Ben for
Who
his
will pass
thoughts.
it to Jen.
Oh,
I'm
nice.
going to pass it back to Ben after.
Ooh.
But Wendy, first, I have a question for you. Have you submitted your Bored Ape to be in the film? Being produced by Coin.
No, so I actually just have a Mutant Ape, which is a moon bag. Love moon bags. And I have not, because I'm kind of just vibing at this point. I'm very excited. I'm like just chilling, and I'm just flipping this stuff, which is a lot of fun.
Okay, amazing. Well, I think that an interesting part of this story for me was that around 30% of that vote actually came from one person, right? 1.2 million tokens were used to vote against? To vote for staying on Ethereum. And I think that's a huge problem with DAOs, right? Mm-hmm. I know you two were talking about this before the show, so I will pass it off to Ben. But so many of the problems that we see in the physical world are making their ways into the crypto world. And DAOs are supposed to be this decentralized way, this community building way to govern things where everyone is equal. And in situations like this, we see that everyone is actually not equal. The more money you have, the more say you have in a lot of these DAOs, and one person really wanted to stay on Ethereum. That said, I've said this before, I think Ethereum is, the Gucci of chains right now, right? It doesn't matter that it kind of sucks and is super expensive, but everyone wants to be on Ethereum because it was the first and it's the best. And so, I mean, I kind of get it. But Ben?
I mean, what are the Gucci's you can get on Canal Street then? What chains are those, like in New York City? No, but I think you got a good point with the issues with the DAO, where it's like, no, I love when a big bag holder starts to treat his holdings as if it were like a political action committee in a democratic institution, and just kind of puts their thumbs on the scale. And, I think DAOs are an interesting idea. They hold a lot of promise in some ways, but the execution, we've seen numerous different issues with them, and this is one. It's the representative, governance tokens that if you're, a hedge fund, if you're a VC, you get in early, you get an outsized influence on this, and there are people that have different fund or ideas about funds kind of piling into the crypto space more generally, and this is one of those issues, right? It's that even in a decentralized environment, maybe there can be centralized control, even if it's not as overt as one might think, and I think the pseudonymity helps with that. You set up a bunch of MetaMask addresses or something like that. Not saying it's happened, but it definitely has happened before.
I'm playing devil's advocate.
Okay,
What
get
about
in here.
skin in the game, man? That's a pillar of the crypto world. Skin in the game. This is a person who is the most invested in the future of this product. Why shouldn't they be able to have an outside say in what happens? I'm going to toss that to you. What do you think?
I mean, that just rewards everybody that chose to get in first and not those that got in later. And then
You
don't
do have a
much
point
say.
there, sir.
Like, I think
You do
there's-
have a
There's
point.
a larger sort of shaped object we could talk about if that's the issue we're talking about, but it's something worth considering. It's like, how do you redistribute or think about the ways that people who come in later and believe in the mission can also have influence without having to put in $20,000 to buy a 1% stake of something? Like, those are questions I don't think we figured out. Then again, we're still early in this overall life cycle of this tech writ large, and it's something that we should be able to answer at some point.
So I agree. I want to pass it over to Will because I've got a question about tech stuff because I'm not the most tech savvy, but kind of proof of work tech. But it's really more of a morality thing because we all get into crypto to go ahead and improve our quality of life. I know that's why I did, and that's what I talk to people about on my channels. And when I talk to people in real life too. But when we're talking about a DAO, we're not talking about somebody who got in early. Yes, I understand people can get in early, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, if we really want to help people improve their quality of life and help the underdogs kind of win at things, because really that's why Bitcoin was created. It was created for the people, by the people to do this. And we have this thing called a DAO where people with a lot of money or that got lucky or got in early can go ahead and decide what happens with a particular protocol or network or whatever it is. Is that really kind of the ethos we want? And then before I pass it over to Will, do you think that this proposal passed because of the Ethereum merge over to proof of stake?
I don't know what's going on inside the mind of an ape, but I do think that could be a part of this. A lot of NFT holders have been they've been hit pretty hard with like the environmental stuff this year. And so I could see the merge being a reason why they'd want to move to Ethereum or stay on Ethereum rather, instead of moving to another chain. Oftentimes though, a lot of these other chains are proof of stake already, right? So it might not be like necessarily a big thing. To me, it seems to be more about developer abilities. There's a lot more products on Ethereum for you to be able to build out your product going forward. MetaMask has like 30 million users. You know, you don't have that on another chain. Everyone's copying MetaMask. So if you want native support for a lot of this tech, you're going to be on Ethereum. You're going to want to stay on Ethereum. So that would be my takeaway. But again, I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. Is that good enough though?
I think that will suffice for the time being. I mean, does anybody else have any more comments on this? Any
No,
more
I mean,
thoughts?
I think those are great thoughts. DAO governance, still a lot to work out on that front, right? The flip side of skin in the game is conflict of interest and also sort of plutocracy. And what we see in these networks tends to lean toward that in the early innings of DAO governance. So it's going to be interesting to see if there's a more egalitarian DAO governance model that crops up where it's more similar to one person, one vote than power of the largest bag holder. But obviously those are some of the philosophical conversations that happen in the wild world of Web3.